Hey, let's see how this goes, huh? I don't know if anybody's even going to know that I'm here. I'm trying to figure out how to get up on here. Hey, Jack. Hey, Xena. Hey, Gandalf. How's things going? I guess I really don't need the second phone because everything's showing up there. So, how's everybody doing? This is the first time for me. I don't know how this is even working, if it's slow, because our streaming here isn't very quick. But I just got done watching Sam, it'd be the replay of his Fatal Fangs thing. And I wanted to maybe talk a little bit as a competitor and see how you guys enjoyed that. Hey, Jay, a boy from LA, Texas Tarantula Man. Um, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Holy man, it's been a rough last couple of weeks for Fatal Fangs. So, oh, you guys are watching the Fatal Fangs tournament? Oh, I lost my stream now. Oh, I lost the comments. Andy said there was a way to do it on my other phone. I'm trying to figure out how that is. I'm going to my YouTube now. Let's see how this works. I just started, Jack, so it's not really anything nuts. The yeah, the Fatal Fangs has been crazy. Um, oh God, I don't want to listen to myself. There we go. Let's try that. Now I can see you guys' comments here on this phone and talk to you on this phone. Um, yeah, I feel bad for Sam. I really do, and I feel bad for the whole admin team because of the work that they put in. Um, and the just the little things that have gone on, and imagine 64 people being in a competition with 64 different views and trying to appease all those people. And I know I've been a pain in the ass to Sam. I guarantee that. I know some other people that have suggestions, and it's just us trying to help, not really being mean or anything, but just different suggestions. And uh, with all the stuff that happened this last week, and I think it happened in my competition with Alex, to be honest with you, the VPN stuff, where people were voting through a VPN, because I saw my numbers go crazy on that last day. And how you doing, wonderful life? And I didn't think it was right, and what do? You have no idea what to do in that instance. So let's see what Jack said. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. No, God, no. It's been crazy. And I know it's a lot of stress. It's been 6 weeks already, and he's got, what, 4 more weeks to go. I'm sure he's going to be relieved when it's done. I know we all are. And it's almost like you want to lose, but you don't want to lose. At least that's what I'm saying. Oh, you're from Australia. That's cool. I've always wanted to go to Australia, but I'm so. Well, yesterday, when all this went on, it was tough because you're at a point as a competitor. Now we'll look at it through a competitor's view because Sam's doing it through his view. Let's do it through a competitor's view, and going through round one and trying to go through round two. Um, I watched it on my first round with Alex, and I mean it was back and forth all week between us. I was up one day for a percentage or two, and then he would be up, later that night, and it just went back and forth and back and forth. And then the last day, it just seemed like we went from roughly around a 50-50 or 49-51 to me going up to like 52%, and then him didn't move, and I didn't get it. And then when all this stuff started happening, we started looking at some of the ways people can actually cheat the system. It's horrid, to be honest with you. Someone would take time out of their day to do this. So I saw in my round two this past week. On Thursday, I saw that my competitor, who we were not, it wasn't close. I don't want to say it wasn't, a big spread, but I was up roughly 13% the whole week. And then on Thursday, when I was watching the voting and just seeing what was going on, percentage went up by 4%, which when I did the math equated to 80 votes. So 80 votes got cast in his favor to zero in mine. And how does that even happen? I don't, it's not the people that are competing in this that are doing this. I guarantee you that. It's just, we don't have the time to do this stuff. At least I know I don't. How you doing, Josh? Oh, bitten by a stromatopelma calcium. Yeah, you don't ever want to do that. That really sucks. So I started watching Friday was the particular day watching both Lucy's and Tarantula Attic, their match, and then Gar and Tom, and you would see percentage spikes. I couldn't see actual votes, but I would see percentage spikes going up, and I was taking captures of the different things within minutes of each other, and so was Gar and a bunch of other people that were doing it. So in the end, Gar, who was up the whole entire week, maybe by a percentage or just, but was up pretty much the whole week, got called a bunch of names, and they were accusing him of cheating the system, and it was ridiculous because I don't know Gar personally, but the conversations that we've had, I totally respect his integrity as well as Tom's. I mean, you can't question some of these people's integrity. How you doing, Arachne King? Hey, Channy, how you doing? Yeah, I'm live. Everyone's gone, so I thought I'd try it. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be, but yeah. So we don't know as competitors now how this is going to pan out, whether our clip is actually better than the person that we're competing against anymore. And that's a shame because we're down to we're at 32 people left, right? That'll be 16, yeah, 32 people left. So, getting to the halfway point's cool as it is, but it's just crazy. And I feel bad, and some of the other competitors have talked. We and Vic. Let's see what did Gandalf say here. It's horrible people who have nothing better to do with their lives than try and make others argue and be miserable. And that's exactly what's going on. And I don't want to see that because although I do think that there was some things that happened in round one, there were two clips in particular that I thought should have won, and most of the people that you talk to believe the same thing. And they were just simple things that were posted on people's profile, like saying, "Oh, I'm down," didn't actually ask for votes, but it insinuates that, and that's where you just don't know. It's no different than if you have your family watching, or they're gonna vote for you, right? They wouldn't vote against you. It's just crazy how this happens, and I don't know the answer either. How you doing, Edward? It's to the point where how do you correct all these problems, and where do you start correcting all these problems? Yeah, we had a couple of us had talked about it, and I know that someone had talked to Tom and Mark about being able to do that. How you doing, Tracy? Yeah, people have talked about doing off the tongs thing just on our own, just to kind of be kind of cool, or just not cool, but just do some friendly competition stuff, but not really in a tournament style. And the problem with this tournament style is no matter what you do with people, and no matter what anybody says, people are competitive. They want to win. You don't go in anything to lose ever. If you go into something to lose, I don't know why you're doing it, but you have to learn how to lose too, And again, I think that things were done in the first round that got away from the rest of the rounds. I didn't see any of the things that I thought happened in that first round happen in the rest of the rounds. But now we have a whole nother problem to deal with, and I don't know how to go about it. So I made a handful of clips that I think are good. I think a couple of them are probably tournament worthy winning clips, but now I'll never know, whether they are or they aren't. It's a shame, and I have to go up, I believe, against Vic, right? Vic, I think we go up against each other, and I feel horrible because I look at him as like a brother, and it's gonna be fun to compete against him, but you know, I'm gonna feel bad when I kick his ass. Sorry, Vic. But just kidding. Um, yeah, I I would love to lose to Vic. So if it happens, it happens either way. But I'm just glad for the opportunity. And yesterday I talked about pulling out, and I told Sam that well, now we're gonna start talking crap, huh, Vic? Um, Tracy's seen my clip, I think, but yeah, it's where do we go? You know, how do we correct the problem? So I had said, I told Sam, I was like, look, if Tom doesn't want to get back in, it's going to give you an uneven number. I'll pull out so that the numbers are even. And he said no, and Gar said no. You know, it's not necessary. You shouldn't really do it. You know, go and compete and try to win. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see it out and see what happens. I know some other people have talked about dropping out too, but I think for our respect for Sam, to see this through is important. And I think you have, Tracy. I think you have. Um, but let's see what Edward say. It's just you, Jack. Tom's clip was badass. Yeah, I my clip this week that I used this last week isn't as good as the clip that I'm using this next week, and the clip I'm using this week isn't as good as the clips that I have saved for round 4 and round 5. So, you're in that. We've always taught our kids when coaching Alex in baseball, we've always done that tournament style that you win the first game and then you win the second game with the best that you have. You don't save stuff for later, but I've actually saved some better clips for later. I filmed a couple today that were just absolutely outstanding, and a couple that would have been if the spider stayed in the frame, and they didn't. So one was my Homoioma species blue, a double takedown, and neither one of the takedowns were in frame. One was up top frame, one was down below frame. So it was kind of funny. So I'll use those as Fatal Fang fails later on. Um, let me read some of your how Jack thinks Tarantula Cat beat Tom. I think that's just you. Not that her clip was bad, but Tom's was much, much better. Um, I respect Cat in that, greatly, but her clip was so high. The filming was so high. If she would have zoomed in a little bit, I think she would have got a better outcome. Um, let's see what else we got here. It is a shame that two videos that I connect with more, and I think they're people myself like Andy and Gar and Vic. There's a handful of others, and then there's my favorite females like Carolina, I guess, and then Zena, and who else? Who I can't think of her name. Oh, I feel so bad. I can't think of her name. Um, um, Unseen Nature, collection of Unseen Nature, I think. Her name is escaping me for some odd reason. I love watching her stuff because of her plants, and her plants remind me of when I was a little kid because my mom had plants everywhere. So, um, yeah, I just want to have fun, and I want everybody else to have fun, and it's become nothing but stress. And I don't think a lot of people under the stress that we're under doing this too, because you're trying to get that perfect clip because you want to move on. So you're using stuff that you would normally use for your channel as far as feeding clips are concerned, and I've lost a lot of good clips because of that. Um, and a lot of them you saw yesterday in the video that I put up yesterday. Um, those were a lot of clips that I had stored for Fatal Fangs and decided just to cut them all down and do a quick. If you want to get away from stuff that I do for my channel, just for the benefit of Fatal Fang. So I have enough stored up now, so I don't have to worry about doing any of that anymore. Let's see what else we got here. Jack says, good luck then. I think they've done so much work, and I'd hate to see more people drop out. I don't think any more people are going to drop out. I think we're all resigned to the fact now that we're going to just live with the system that we have and understand that you may lose because of somebody that's not even competing, or your clip is better than the person that you're going up against. You have to resign that fact that If Vic's clip is not as good as my clip and I lose, I just have to resign the fact that I think my clip is better, and vice versa. I, I think a lot of us were going up against somebody with Alex's clip, his and mine. They were, his was a pokey, mine was a Ephebopus, but they were so similar. It led to that. I think that high voting, total, where people were just like, I don't know what to vote for, and I've had people say they didn't even vote on those because friends of mine, because good, well, friends of both of mine and Alex's. Um, Arachne King says, think make maybe a judging panel might fix it. Yeah, it can, but again, human nature. You have to figure out a way to be unbiased, and you'd have to find people that have that integrity. Um, the United States guys aren't going to vote for the United States people. The UK people for the UK people just because they want to see people from their country win. That's going to be tough to do. Bringing outside people in, I don't think that really helps either, because I don't think that that's going to change bias or not bias. I think what you need to do is find competitors that were in this that don't want to do it again if they do it next year, to possibly do that. Or what I had suggested, not only using fan votes, using competitor votes, where the fan votes might count like 20% towards the win, and the competitors who would get to vote one time, only one time, that total would get added to the percentage. Say that would count for 80%. So, say there's 20 competitors and 15 of them vote for me and 5 vote for Vic, and then the fan voting was a little in Vic's favor, I would end up winning because the panel would vote for more in my favor. I think percentage wise that might help, but it's going to be hard to set up. So, setting all this stuff up then is kind of difficult. Oh, Edward, the reason that Dark Den backed out is because he didn't understand um, the whole system. I don't think him nor Darren from Exotic Slayer understood what it was. They thought it was just one clip and they were done. So they didn't want to continue in it, and that's why they decided to push forward. They're just way too busy to continually worry about doing this stuff. So that's why he backed out. It had nothing to do with anything other than that. I don't know that they, originally, if they would have known the whole parameters of what was going on, I'm not sure that they would have actually got in it. Yeah, it is just you, Jack. You and Kat, I think, definitely just you two think that she should have won. Um, Anonymous could be a way to do it, where people don't know who they're voting for, which we had discussed in the beginning. I think that was something I suggested to Sam. And what I was worried about is the larger channels have more followers, being able to just vote for them because they have more people that would follow their channel versus smaller channels like myself. So imagine someone like me with 2K subscribers going up against, Darren, who's got 750,000, and he wants to win. It would be no problem for him to beat me, even though if my clip was better. So doing it anonymous wise would be one thing, but the problem with a lot of fans know people's video style. So, or even enclosure setups and stuff like that. So sometimes it would be kind of we would know, Exotic Slayer stuff. We would know, based on how he sets his stuff up, or, where Petco's filming, or, his filming style. So that would be kind of tough to do too, anonymous wise. Nelly, that's it. Yeah, thanks, Vic. Oh, Shanti, she's definitely another one of my favorite ladies. Um, yeah, Pulp Frictions was a good video. I actually saw that before he put it up. So, um, and I talked to Jared about he's telling me about what he wants to do for the next round, and God forbid I end up having to go against them in the end. I might have to do some anti-slang campaigning against their company so I can beat them if it's just the two of them, two of us in this, getting out of this bracket of ours. Yeah, I like ours over the shoulder toss too. I thought that was kind of cool. And that's what I worry about is, theatrics. Are people going to enjoy the theatrics, or they think that we're just doing something to make our videos, special, which I think we should. I mean, you want to win, so you want to do whatever you can to make your video, good, slow motion, or, text or talking or whatever that may be. I think I added music to this last one. The first one was just straight nothing. It was just a spider. Um, this next clip, I can't tell you, Vic, because we're going against each other what I did, but I think you're going to like it. Um, yeah, landscape. Yeah, you got to do them in landscape. I remember, I think there was two in round one that were done in portrait. I think Edward, I think you did yours in portrait. You should have done yours in landscape. I think it would have shown up a little bit better. Well, Arachnid King, I agree to a point that Dark Den and Exotic Slayer could have brought in numbers, but what I'm seeing, in quite all honesty, is that the numbers aren't really reflecting on the competitors. We're not seeing an influx of subscribers. So to me, it would just be more exposure to them, and even the people that went up against Dark Den and Exotic Slayer didn't really see any kind of dramatic increase. Maybe five or six subscribers. So what you have to do to get subscribers anymore is your content's got to be good. You have to do editing. See, I never did editing like I've been doing lately, and that's only because, like I said, my editing software that I use or the app that I use has changed. But you have to do collaborations with big channels. Um, you have to do one-on-one collaborations, like doing one thing with Exotic Slayer together. Then all his subscribers are going to see you and they're going to subscribe to you because he's going to say, "Here's a link to the channel," and that's going to help you out. But I I don't know. I don't know that I want to do it that way. I feel like I'd rather earn everything that I get. The people are coming to my channel because they like what I'm doing, not who I'm doing it with. So yeah, I think the numbers would have changed a little bit with those two, but I don't know. The voting's crazy. Gars and Tom's had 1,000 more votes than Mark's Tarantulas and his competitor did. 1,000 more votes. That's a lot of votes. Yeah, boy from LA. Yeah, there definitely is some unseen things that have happened, and it's I don't even know how to figure it out. I mean, I've had someone send me a message and told me how it works, and said that they could actually do a 1,000 VPN and do it instantly, and put them all on one person's clip and make that look like they were cheating. That the way technology is crazy, and why people want to do things like that. I just don't understand it. It got away from the fun and the draw for bringing exposure to some of the smaller channels to now it's almost like you're pulling your hair out as a competitor. And again, this is, I mean, no disrespect to Sam whatsoever. I think he took on a little bit more than he realized he was taking on, and you don't know until you start doing it. And I I did that back when, if you guys remember last March when I did my March Madness. I thought that was just gonna be great. One video a day, 31 days. I ended up doing 72 videos in that month, and I hated, by the end of like 14 days, I hated even doing them. So I'm sure I know how he feels right now. Yeah, Vic, I think it is about the attack and all that other stuff. So the bells and whistles, um, I don't think mean a lot, but I think it'll help. You know, and out of all the clips I've seen, even though I think Pulp Friction's clip is good, Spider-Man's clip, Alan Hinkin's clip with the six-eyed sand spider, if that spider would have actually grabbed the cricket and took it with it instead of letting it get away, that would have been the clip of the tournament. Really, I don't. And even Adams, the ogre face spider was really good. I enjoyed that one a lot. So yeah, Adam's going to be tough because he's got a myriad of things he can use. The true spiders are a lot different than tarantulas, so their reaction's different. And if people are not seeing those kind of spiders, they may be more apt to vote for those kind of spiders. Yeah, no, Xena, my channel isn't very big at all. I mean, the view, I don't get many views. I may have subscribers, but two thousand subscribers isn't really a lot. So yeah, I mean, I'm only getting like 125 views per video, so that's, to me, that's not really all that much. And the crappy thing is that 52% of the people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed to me. So imagine if I only got 25% of that 50%. my subscriber total would rise to 26, 2,700 like that. Yeah, Vic says he got 17 more subs in the last 2 weeks. I've had an influx of subs the last few weeks, but that's because I think what I'm doing on video has changed. My editing and stuff like that. I think people are coming and saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm starting to like what he's doing. I'll actually hit the subscribe button." So I don't. Some of them may be from Fatal Fangs. I'm not saying that they aren't, but we're not seeing the big influx that some of us I think thought we would see, especially starting out with 64 different channels and some of the big ones that had to draw. My bracket was tough. There was a lot of good channels that were in my bracket. Tarantula's Attic, huge UK. You have Tom, you had Gar, you had Mark's Tarantulas. We have Pelt Friction. Who else do we have, Vic? There's some other big ones that were in there. I can't think of. Oh, you had Alex from Tarantula Haven. So, oh, yeah, we had a lot of big channels in tough competitors in this bracket. This bracket 3 was the hardest bracket by far. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, you're right, Zena. I think voting on the clips, not the YouTuber, is the way to go. But you know how it is. People are going to vote for their favorite YouTuber, especially if they see that they're low, behind. It's just going to happen. Yeah, I think other people have done that too, Jack, where they voted for, or subscribed to channels that that clip is pretty good. Let's go check out what else they got, And I think maybe that may have happened with mine. I don't know. I don't remember what was this clip that I had last week. I don't even remember what I used. I know I used the E. Moraes for clip 1. That's how bad my memory is. I don't remember what spider I used in this last in the last feeding video, or the last Fatal Fangs video. You guys can tell me. Yeah, Trace, I think you're right, but it's not going to happen. Now that we're down to 32 people, I think, and we all know what's going on now. There's no questions about it. And the thing that I don't like is people are getting backlash for it. I mean, Lucy was getting hammered by people saying that she was cheating, and Gar was getting hammered by people saying he was cheating, and neither one of them were. So, where does it stop for us as far as YouTubers? Do we want to continue having that abuse or not? I haven't had any yet. Well, I can't say that I haven't had any. I had 3 messages that were sent to me in a private message through my YouTube channel over my clip with Alex, saying that there is no way possible that I could have gained that much percentage on him the last day without me soliciting for voting. So, I mean, I did catch a little bit of flack from some people, but I just kind of brushed it off, because we were so close all week. Oh, yeah. Now Tracy's trying to take bribes from Vic. I see how it is. No, thanks, Channy. I appreciate that. I wanted to be unique when I started doing this. I didn't want to just be a feeding video channel or, I'm not an entertainer. I don't believe I am. I mean, I can be funny at times, but getting me to do this is not, it wasn't easy. I just said, I'm home alone. Everyone's gone. What the heck? Let's do it. And as soon as everybody gets home, we'll probably end. But, yeah, I try to do as much as I can information-wise. Now, I'm no expert by any means. It's just, a long time of asking questions, retaining information, writing information down, doing research. And I have a good group of people behind me that I can go to, when it comes to, hey, you know what, someone asked me a question and I'm not really sure the answer. I can go to people and get that answer and bring it back. And I think that's important. But I think you also have to realize that when you do that, you need to recognize that to the person that you're giving the information to, or on the channel itself. Like, you know what, I didn't know the answer to this question, so I went to Tom Patterson, and Tom Patterson gave me the answer. So that's where the information came from. I think a lot of channels don't do that. They ask for information from people, and then they kind of act like they know the information, and it's kind of disheartening sometimes. But channels are channels, and I hope all channels are successful, to be honest with you, because if they are, then mine will be too. No, Vic, yeah, you enjoyed the tournament. I enjoyed is the key word there, because after next week, you're going to have to enjoy it from the stands. I've seen a lot of, I went, to be honest with you, these people know, Vic's going to know, um, Adam, how you doing, Adam? Adam's going to know, Zena's going to know how that, what was it, about November-ish? I was getting ready to walk away from YouTube, period. I was, I was going to be done. Um, there was just some things going on. There was just too much drama going on, and I felt like I was working way too hard and spending way too much time doing this away from my family to see the small amount of people that were viewing my channel. And it got kind of discouraging. And so I'd made a post on the YouTube group, and I told everybody, and I got so many people that said, you just can't do that, because you're one of the only few channels that do a lot of information, and we need you around. So, here I am still. As long as I enjoy doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. But again, there comes a point when you have to rationalize, is the work worth, the work and effort worth, all the other stuff. But then I sit back and say, if I can reach one person with each video and change somebody's way of keeping a tarantula or information that they might get to keep a tarantula later on, and they be able to keep it better for that sake, then I guess I'm doing good, right? So Adam, how's the wee man? Is he sleeping yet? He's got to be. It's late over there. I mean, it's 5:37 here, so you got to be pushing 11:30, 12:30 ish. Oh yeah, Tracy. Yeah, your boyfriend's in. Yeah, there is, Vic. And it's funny because some people that, I mean, I'll be upfront and honest with you. There are people that I was really really close friends with that I'm not so close friends with right now. Just things that I disagreed with or they disagreed with, and it just got to a point where you just, do we really need to have all that strife? It's just hard to do. And being an administrator of the tarantula community, growing that from the ground up with Amy and Quentin last February, it's taken a lot of effort, a lot of time. It's such a wonderful place. I love being there. I love being able to help people, and I love what we're doing there. So that takes a lot of time and effort. And when you get small drama there, other drama becomes huge. And some of that stuff piled on to me in November, and I just got too much. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm actually having fun now, which I haven't had in a while. I think the 12 Days of Christmas really turned me around. I really enjoyed doing that. I loved doing the collab that last day. That was so much fun. I'm so glad that all those people joined in. Let's see what else we got going on here. Now, I haven't seen Mark's videos. To be honest with you, it probably should go viral. I would imagine he does some really good camera work, and he's very theatrical. I told him in the beginning, and I think it was the video that he did where he was like doing the voiceover of the history of spiders and the arachnophobia. I told him in that video, I said, you should actually be doing film, because what he did with that video really changed his channel completely. And my problem is I don't have time to watch all these videos anymore and all these channels that I used to. I would make a video here or there, and then I'd watch, and that's all I used to do is watch videos and do videos. That was it. Watch videos and do videos. And then I got sick of spiders, period. It was like, I'm feeding 100 some spiders, and I'm watching people feed spiders all day long. It just kind of got boring. So there's certain people that I make sure I watch every time they put a video out. But I haven't watched Mark's videos in a while. Not that I don't want to, I just haven't had time to do it. I see that some of Darren's stuff has gone viral too, being shared. I think his one watering video is up to like 25 million shares or something like that. It's like crazy. Yeah, boy from LA, it is supposed to be fun, but again, in when you say the word competition, even if you're going up against friends, it's still a competition. And some people's feelings have been hurt. I don't know how some people have feel after all this is done, when they've lost. I don't know how I'll feel when it's all over and done with, but we'll find out. Yeah, I agree, Adam. His videos are spectacular. He just knows how to put that camera in the right place. And the big thing with Mark is he's got no fear of his spiders either. So he's not afraid to do things that others can't. And I really don't. I'm not afraid of them. But you could see again the space that I work with. If you look here, you see my table. That's where I work. So you can see the whole stuff that needs to be cleaned out on the bottom there. That getting a spider loose in there is not something I want to do. So I'm a little bit, uh, you know, a little bit more careful with what I do. Even though that crazy spider jumped out the other day, that's the first time it's happened in a long time, and that kind of freaked me out because you get complacent. You know how it is. All of you guys that are keepers, you get complacent after a while, and you're like, oh, nothing's happened. Everyone's being good. They're all comfortable in their homes, and then you get that, and it brings you back to life. And I went looking for a tub that would go here. I wanted a black one, shallow, that I could film in, so that if a spider got out, it still would be in that tub. I have a little bit more time to work with it, but I can't find one. One that isn't too big, but isn't too small either. You have to put the bigger enclosures in there. Although my bigger spiders, I'm not so worried about them because they're going to lumber around trying to get where they need to get to. So yeah, Vic says he can't afford any bribes right now. Hey, Vic, I sent Tracy a spider, so I don't know what you really have to go up on that. I think you're kind of screwed, buddy. Now, well, you're welcome, Zena. I mean, I don't really go out to, I'm not really trying to. People listen to what I have to say, and again, I know I've done videos on this before where I felt a lot of that had to do with my role as an admin in the handful of groups I was being an admin at in the beginning. That I think people were reluctant to say anything against what I was saying, and um, that I don't know that this kind of helped out in the beginning for me doing this because I had such an outreach to people, and I was giving the same information on the groups that I was here. So again, I'm always open to anybody that ever wants to send me a message or an email. You can email me at eeriearachnids at gmail.com if you ever have questions that you don't know and you can't find, or you're questioning the information you're finding on Google. Like, matter of fact, I'm having this. It's not an argument, but a disagreement with a young lady on a different group. She took a picture and she put it on as a mature male Davis. Well, she called it a Cyclosternum fasciatus. Well, we know that Cyclosternum isn't in the hobby, and the fasciatus goes back to Davis. So you have Davis fasciatus, you have Davis penniloris. Davis penniloris has got the rose or orange colored carapace and the tiger colored pattern, which is a Costa Rican spider. The Davis fasciitis is a black carapace spider with a tiger pattern from Guatemala. So I'm trying to convince her that hers is not a Davis fasciitis, but she just doesn't want to believe me. So you get to the point where you send the links to Theraposidae or the spider catalog, and that's about all you can do from there. If they don't want to believe you from there, I don't know what more you can do. I just really think that trying to ID a tarantula and using Google Images is just a bad way to do it. Very, very bad way to do it. Now the spelling's not quite right. It's Cheeto like the actual Cheeto, so it would be Cheetos. Boy from L.A. Yeah. Um, so yeah, he asked me. You guys can read it, I guess, if I'm going to plan on getting another one at any point. And I actually, once Cheeto died, I said I'm not going to get any more Asian species. Period. I'm going to be done with them and then concentrate more on the African species. But I think that's where my real love is, the African species. But one of my good friends, and I put this in the video the other day, but I just kind of deleted it. So this is what's going on. My mature male Monocentropus balfouri is going to Pulp Friction, and we're kind of doing a trade, but I don't know what I'm getting. I gave them a list of stuff that I would be interested in, and I don't believe that I put any Asian species on there. But in the meantime, when all this happened, my friend Byron, who I met online a couple years ago through the Facebook groups. He's an admin of Midwest Fan Gang. We were born in the same city in Indiana. I think I'm a couple years older than he is, but he bought one for me at Pulp Friction, a new Cheeto. So because he knew how much it meant to me, and he felt really bad for me. So he bought me a new one. It's probably just a sling, but um, yeah. So that's coming soon with whatever I'm getting for the mature male. Um, so I don't want to. I talked about calling it Cheat 2, so it would kind of be a play on the name, but I decided when it comes in, I'm going to name it Cheese It. 'Cause I think that'd be kind of funny too. I think people will get a kick out of that. And I think a lot of her draw was her name, really, because it fit her so well. Um, but yeah, so we do have one of those coming. And then I also bought from Pelt Friction, I got a Kilo Brackies pre-troop Kirakan. And then another friend of mine, uh, Jody, purchased a Kilo Brackies one Zenensis for me. So there's three new Asians coming here, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get any more Asian species. But yeah, there's three more coming that I know of, and I don't know what else coming from Pelt Friction for the trade. Um, yeah, I don't think you've learned tons from me. You just learned enough, you know. Because yeah, I don't think that I'm a wealth of information. Like people keep saying that, and I mean I don't ever feel that way because everything that I learned from somebody else. I didn't, well, I mean my experiences of course play into the factors, but I had a few really really good mentors in the beginning when I really first started doing this and led me in the right way. I just I was fortunate I got with the right people that can give me information, at least steer me in the right direction. I've asked Tom Patterson, Chase Campbell, Lee Beck, Stuart Longhorn. I've asked, Guy Tansley, Andrew Smith. I've sent these people questions, and they've, been more than happy to answer them. And that's where I gained most of my knowledge is that way. And of course, doing research and watching videos, and then the experience, putting it all together again. So, I feel like if I'm not passing on what I've learned, it's, I'm doing a disservice to the hobby. Really, I really enjoy doing that. Uh, you know, Vic, don't feel bad because you only have five teeth because some of the ones you have are really cool. That's the thing. Your Difficillus and your Chromatus, they're awesome takedown spiders. The problem that you have is if they're not eating, what do you do? That's the only problem with this kind of a tournament. But if you have a smaller collection, it kind of, you're kind of stuck with what they do. Where I have 127 of them here that I can really film at any time and try to do it. So bigger collections in this tournament is an advantage. There's no doubt about it. I'm reading. I'm sorry. I'm reading. I appreciate that, Adam. I mean, I feel the same way about you too. I've told you before. I think you, me, and Andy. This is just my personal opinion. The three of us as neighbors, we would be awesome together. We'd be like the Three Stooges. And we can bring Vic in as our crazy cousin, I guess. Yeah, I think Mark is going to be big. I think he's big in the UK. A lot of people don't understand Mark. I think here from the states, not the way he talks. I mean, just him in general. But his he's got the lovely setup downstairs, so he's got a lot of room, and being able to devote yourself to this, and if you have a partner, wife or husband or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be, that supports it, is a huge thing too. See, I don't have that because my wife hates him. She just absolutely can't stand him. So, it's a little bit tougher for me. I don't take them out there, while she's out there. I could do all this in my kitchen, but yeah, that won't fly because if one of these just decided to climb around the rim of one of these enclosures, she would want them out the door. So, I loved Mark, watching Mark in the beginning, and I mean, I still do when I get an opportunity to watch him. It's just not very often that I do. Like I said, there's a handful of people. I definitely try to watch every time, you put stuff out, Adam, Shanti, Vic, Andy. Um, when Bird Spiders CH puts his stuff out and Bugs and stuff, I make sure that I watch all that stuff. And then Martin from Tarantula Cave. And a lot of times, Alex too from Tarantula Haven, if I have time to watch his videos, because him and I were so similar, where our videos were so damn long, we could have cut half the fluff out of it, and we might have got more subscribers in the beginning, but that's just the way we were. You know, we like to talk, as I'm doing here, I guess. This is actually kind of fun for me to believe it or not. I didn't think I would like this, but I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, you know, anybody that does watering videos right now, I think is going to catch flack because of Exotic's Lair, and that's kind of his thing. And you know, I've seen a couple people try to play up on it, and that's what ends up happening. Is he's just got so many fans and followers that if you do anything and he's done, they just say that you're copying him, and you know, it's crazy. Um, it's crazy how big he's, because I was like one of his first, I don't know, 20 subscribers back when he had his original name. Um, and I liked it because he was funny, you know, the way that he talked to his tarantulas and stuff like that. I enjoyed the comedic part of it. He his keeping style is suitable for him over there, much different than what we do over here because of his humidity levels where he lives. He's got to do things a lot different than we do to combat mold and stuff like that. So I haven't seen Mark's watering video. Maybe I should go check it out. Yeah, you know, it is cool that you guys all get to meet each other like that. You know, because it's a much smaller area over there than we have in the States here, where you know there are people, you know, way up in Connecticut and people way down in California that you're talking, you know, 1,800-mile difference. And they are doing the one thing that Cat and Mickey Myers is doing there in not Chicago, in St. Louis, and then they have Tinley in Chicago, which they're going to be back to back, so it'll be 2 straight weeks where people can go. I don't have any interest in doing stuff like that because A, I don't like big crowds, first of all, and B, I wouldn't want to travel that far. I mean, if they did something here, I would go. You know, maybe in Buffalo, or maybe I'd even go to Cincinnati, because that's not extremely far. And originally, Cincinnati was talking about doing this, was talking about doing an arachnid um, only show. Um, but I don't think it ever came to fruition there because they talked about that early last year. But yeah, we'll see how this stuff pans out for those guys there in St. Louis and old Chicago's always good. I don't know if Edward's still here or not, but he can attest to how Tinley is in Chicago. I'm sure it's a wild time. But you have to be able to handle crowds. But I think you guys are, you know, I don't know about the BTS show because I'm sure that's pretty freaking huge. But um, yeah, it's nuts. I wished I could come over there and meet you guys. I would have a blast. I think I would get along perfectly with all you guys over there in the UK. Yeah, poor Fang. You know, and it's that sucked for that little guy or a big girl, right? She was that the Graham Stole Polka piece, right? That lost its fangs. But you could also go to Shanti's. Because Shanti had a Brachypelma that she bought that ended up she realized that didn't have fangs when she got it home too. So she's gone through some of the same things. How you doing, Ian and Nuno? Good to see you guys. Yeah, I don't have a Therafosa, believe it or not. Um, I've never really wanted one. Although I do like the apophysis. I think if somebody said, "Here, take this apophysis," I would probably take it. But I did put a blondie on the list of stuff to help friction. I don't know that you know the mature male Balfouri is worth that or whatever they would send. I'm sure they're going to send more than what he's worth anyway. But um, yeah, you know, I just was worried about size. You know, I worried about a big 10 bulky, you know, 10-inch, 11-inch, big, huge, bulky spider. I have the Lasiodora parabonus and the Kluge and the, you know, the Agens and my Gramstol Polkpeas. I was like, you know, 8, 9 inches, that's perfectly fine for me. Um, even that seems a little bit big. I like spiders that are 5 inches. That's like perfect size for me. You don't have to have too big of enclosure. You know, maybe a little depth because some of them dig a little bit more, but 5-inch spiders are the ideal for me. If I would have really thought about it in the beginning, I would have just done dwarfs. And I could have had 1,000 of them here instead of the 100 that I have here, and you know we're going to run out of space. I'm not, you know, it's going to be inevitable. Hey JP, how are you? Yeah, I'm probably going to stay for about another 10 or 15 minutes maybe. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, let me know. Yeah, Adam said he will accept emails too. Again, for those of you that are new, if you have questions or you want to get a hold of me, just go to eeriearachnids at gmail.com. That would be the way to get a hold of me. That comes right to my phone right away as soon as they come in. Vic, I just don't want you to cry when you see my clip. Okay, just promise me you're not going to cry because it is pretty good. And the funny thing is that I almost changed it with one of the ones I did tonight because I got another really, my Epipopus marinus from round one. I got a clip today of that same spider that's about 10 times better than that clip I got the first time. Actually, all the way out. Yeah, Trace, you got to get a Dabus peniloris. They're a lot of fun. That was one of the first spiders that actually escaped from me, the male that I had. At that time, I didn't know it was a male, but I was working with, on the end of my bed over here, I was working with putting some things in the enclosure, and he was off to the side over here, and then all of a sudden he just took off, and he ran across my bed and to the headboard, and I didn't know where he went. And matter of fact, the hat that I'm wearing is where he went. He climbed right in that hat. It was sitting over there. And I was like, oh man, I just got a 3.5 inch spider that's gonna be loose in my house. If that ends up in the living room and my wife sees it before I catch it, she's gonna murder me. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. My female's in pre-molt, so she hasn't been a lot of fun. I want to rehouse her once she molts though. I'd like to try and breed her, but they're just as difficult to breed as the GBBs are. They're very man or male aggressive, and it's a very quick pairing. So it's the male's like boom 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 done and walk away if he gets to walk away. But a lot of times it doesn't take. So they aren't the easiest of spiders to breed. Well, I can't wait to see it, Adam. That'll be cool. I love seeing communal setups, um, especially stuff that's odd. Everyone's doing the Belfory, and I know a lot of people are really, really hung up on the Belfory. They just love them and love them. Personally, they just don't do it for me. I tried the communal thing. I lost two of them from the other three cannibalizing, and then two of the three that were left ended up being mature males. So I probably won't do Balfories again. I'll just stick with the female that I have, and that would be it. I mean, she's technically what they call a baboon, but not really because she's a Yemen tarantula, and the Socotra Island is part of Yemen, not actually part of Africa, so a little bit different. So why they're actually in the baboon quote unquote moniker or name, I don't know, but they are beautiful if you can get them out. If you see them out, they are quite beautiful. Well, thanks, Vic. I know that you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, and you said this a million times that you learned a lot, and I think that's part of it. I enjoy when people send me questions about their spiders. Vic sent me questions before about send me molt pictures to sexes tarantulas, or a lot of people send me they'll send me ventral pictures, which I think I'm pretty good at. I would say so far I would say I'm probably about 94-95% efficient on ventrals, but I don't like doing brachypelmas or faunopelmas or grammostolas. They're a little bit more difficult for me because of the area and the amount of hair that overlaps that area. That epigastric furrow right there. It's sometimes difficult to see, and a lot of people don't understand. When you're sexing a tarantula, even with a molt, when you do a ventral, you should be sexing for a male. You should be looking for the male Epiandros fusilier instead of trying to look for what you would call the plate, or it looks like this because the book lungs are at a different angle, so it's got to be a female. That's not necessarily the way to do it, because you really, book lung angle does play a factor between males and females because the port's got to be wider. But in different species, you'll have the hourglass, the perfect hourglass for females, and that could be present in males in different species. So it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, so sexing brachypelma in a molt tricks a lot of people because the male accessory organs are pretty prominent, and people will confuse those with spermatocae in the beginning, and they'll think they'll have a female, and then boom, 3-4 years later, they have a hooked out male and they don't understand why. And it's just, simple things that you learn as you go. And um, stuff that I've learned, because I sexed a male brachypelma as female. Um, Matter of fact, it's Obi. I thought for sure that Obi was a female, and I saw those little things, and I put the picture up, and Tom Patterson sent me a note saying, hey, those are male accessory organs, what you're seeing. I was like, oh, man. So then I started researching, looking what male accessory organs look like in molts, and then it becomes a little bit more easy to understand and see. Is the video quality okay? I mean, you guys can hear me okay and everything, and I didn't even ask that before. I meant to ask, but I'm actually filming on my old phone, and holding my new phone in my hand, reading all the stuff. And I couldn't figure out why I started doing it, and it kept telling me to rotate the camera, and I wouldn't do it. And I forgot that both my cameras, I have the rotate turned off. So when I realized that, I had already set this camera up, so I turned the rotate off, or yeah, turned the rotate on to be able to film through this one. But I'd like to do this, more often. Are you guys enjoying this? I'd like to get a bunch more people in here doing this. It's kind of hard to keep up with everybody now, because I start to talk and get off on a tangent, and I get behind on what I'm reading. Yeah, Vic's definitely the crazy cousin. There's no doubt about it. You two need to do another musical collaboration. Maybe you guys could write a song about me. How about that? Or you could write a song about Cheeto. That would be cool. Maybe do a ballad. That would be kind of interesting. So are you saying that your dogs like my voice, Jack? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I know my wife doesn't like me either, Adam. I mean, we've been married 22 years, in 96, so this will be 23 years this year. I think she still loves me, but I don't think she likes me anymore. Yeah, I think it would be so much more fun if the person that you were married to or with would actually enjoy the collection too. Like, it would be much more fun. I didn't shave. I haven't shaved in a while. I'm kind of trying to do the, see, you get this gray, and I can't grow a perfect beard over here because that's the Polish in me. I'll probably shave tonight or tomorrow. Oh yeah, Adam. That's the bad thing, about Darren and his videos. That real diehard scientific, you have to keep spiders this way only, are going to hammer him every single time. And they do it with Petco too. I think that I used to be that way. I used to be like, oh no, you need more substrate. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right, without considering where people are located. Because the way I do things here may not be the way that you could do things. You do them in the UK. It'd be a little bit different there. Weather patterns are different. Humidity's different. Everything's different. So yeah, so just kind of like, laying back and let people do their own thing. I didn't buy the spiders for you, so I really can't tell you how to keep them. I did. I got on Darren a long time ago, and that's really how the tarantula community Facebook group was born. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this story or not, but so it was in, I think, Tarantula Gossip. That group is a UK-based group. There was something about him on there, and I had questioned the way he kept his Cereopagabus lividus, because he had it in one of those PVC pipes and not a lot of substrate, and the spider just didn't look happy, in there, just all curled up all the time. And I'd said, I thought that was the wrong way to keep it on the thing. And he actually messaged me and said, hey, can, in a nutshell, can we talk about this? And we did. We chatted for pretty much the rest of the evening, on and off, talking about, his humidity levels. And when I realized that I didn't even take that into consideration, the mold issues and him having deep substrate that's wet and damp like that would create a lot of problems in his collection. My leg's starting to fall asleep, so we're not going to have much time left here. Maybe I can reposition myself. You might bounce here. Maybe I'll sit like an Indian. So, yeah, so we started talking, and then of course it was Maurice. The three of us started talking, and I said, you know, we should start this group. And he said, him and Maurice were talking about it a while ago, and I was like, well, let's just do it. You know, why put it off? Let's just do it. So that night he made the group, started it out, and then it's where it's at now. Oh, so you get a show in Scotland now. That's cool. You know what I want you to do, Adam? I think you could do this. I think you should do a video talking like Shrek. I really think that you could do that. Oh, you got a lot of expos out your way, Tracy. How close to Philly are you? I don't know how far. You know, I'm not really quite sure exactly where your city's located in the state. I didn't really look it up. There's been a oh there's been a ton of people that have hammered Darren Exotic Slayer. At this point it doesn't really make a difference to him because he's as big as he is, and with him now anymore, it's any publicity is good publicity for him. I mean, he's going to be at 1 million subscribers here in no time. How you doing, Sam? With Sam's math and science videos. That's your name, right? How are you? Super in TNT. I didn't realize you were in here. Do I play Fortnite? No, I do not. My kids do, but I don't. I don't have time for that stuff anymore. I played a lot of Call of Duty about 5 years ago before I had the job that I have right now because I was laid off and there was just no job prospects and I kind of felt down, and that was the only thing that really made me feel better. I would play all day while my wife was at work, and then I realized, you know, that's all I was doing. I don't even remember what that might have been. I'm not quite sure which one it was. What's the new one that's out now? It's number 4 of that series. I think it was number 3 is the one that I was playing a lot. I can't think of what it is now. I haven't played games in such a long time. Every now and then I'll play offline with the kids, but not very often. So no, I don't play Fortnite. Yeah, you kind of are like Howlin' Mad Murdoch from the A Team. I could see that. I see some wheels turning there, Vic. I think you're going to be doing some crazy videos here in the next couple of weeks, huh? No, I'm not coming to St. Louis. Although a lot of people are trying to get me to go. First of all, that travel time for me that far would murder my back. I wouldn't be able to sit in a car that long, and I have limited vacation as far as work's concerned, and I have a couple things I need to get done to me this year, so I take a couple time, took some days off of that. I got some dental work that I want to get done, and I try to save my days to go watch Alex play baseball when if I have to work and he's playing a game that's close, I'd like to go see, so I'll take vacation then. So I just can't see, for me, I would have to go down on a Friday, spend the night, and then go to the show on Saturday and spend the night and then come home on Sunday. It's just not anything that really interests me. I know Peyton is going from here because Peyton's Tarantulas, she lives here in the same area that I do. I think she's taking a train. Um, if somebody can pick me up and paid for my room and paid for everything, I might consider it. But yeah, I have a couple Formictopus species, Jack. I got the Eratus now, which is an animal, and the Cancerides, who's in Primo. And one of the ones I put on my list from Pulp Friction was the Formictopus species South Hispaniola. Hispaniola. I don't know what they're going to send, so that may be coming. I love the Chilobrachys species. That's why I wanted to make sure I got those other two. But the whole thing with the Wansenensis was I wanted to get it because I wanted to say it on YouTube, just because I like saying the name. Oh, so now you're gonna put me on the spot, Super TNT, right? What's my favorite YouTuber? With all these YouTubers in here right now, I think that they all would probably agree with me. There are a couple that I really, really admire a lot. Dave Scott is one of them because he really got me started doing this. But it depends on what I want to do. You know, if I just want to have fun and watch videos, um, I really enjoy Shanti's work lately. Her stuff has been really, really, really cool. Her camera work has just been awesome. I love Carolina because I love listening to her accent, not just because of her accent, but I love watching her stuff. Um, Andy, his feeding videos are probably one of the best YouTube feeding videos out there. But I'd have to still say Tom Moran. And you know, a non-real, more of a reptile guy, but Trey Beck is another one of the people that I really, really enjoy watching. He's just such an upbeat guy all the time. Him and April's relationship together is just absolutely spectacular, and that, you know, it's fun to watch. And then Marilyn Moore, of course. Every time I watch Marilyn Moore's videos, I feel better about the day when I'm done. Yeah, she just makes people smile. Yeah, you know what? The Pal Friction has Blondie slings for $145. That's really not a bad deal, to be honest with you. They also have Apophysis for like 235 or 285. No, you shouldn't use that ogre. And if you are going to use that ogre spider again, do it before we have to go against each other, Adam. That spider's like an unfair advantage because nobody, you know, just nobody sees them. I think you probably one of the only people that have them. What's my favorite thing to do? Sleep. I really, really enjoy sleeping because I don't really sleep for a long period of time. I'm kind of a 2 hour at a time sleeper. I'll sleep, I wake up and like I'm wide awake, or you know, at my age I have to go to the bathroom or whatever it may be. But yeah, I really enjoy sleeping. Yeah, Ian, his clip, that clip was good. There's no doubt about it. Okay, quit playing up these ogres. If he's not going to play Shrek on video, he's got to look like Shrek, talk like Shrek, and film Shrek. That's fine, but no more ogres in the tournament. It's an unfair advantage. I think whoever goes against you should get a handicap. I've never weighed any of my spiders. I never really. Actually, I don't have anything here to weigh them with, but no, I'd go crazy if I lost a little tiny spider like that, Trace. I'm glad that you know he's in a place now where he's gonna be able to make babies. I hope that all works out with Ruth. That'll be kind of cool. I've only had one. It was a small female, and I think I had her for about 7 or 8 months, and then she just went off eating, period, and then just died. It's weird how fragile they are, but when you really sit down and think about how tough they are too. I mean, these things have been around for 300 million years with not much evolutionary change. How many tarantulas do you have, Adam? I don't even know. I mean, I tend to catch all your videos that always seem to play up the other insects, which is a lot of fun. That's why I enjoy watching it because it's different. You have different stuff there. Same with Sam. It's watching different stuff, and John from the Nerd Room, just watching different things that you don't get a chance to see. I love the Egyptian predatory beetles. I think you have a couple, right? Don't you, Adam? I love them, but we can't have them here. Um, I'd love to own a couple of those. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, Trace, tell Faith that she's running out of time. Um, will I do more communals? Actually, I will not do a Pokey communal because I'm not a huge Poecilotheria fan, or Poecilotheria fan, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Poecilotheria, Poecilotheria, Poecilotheria. Um, I'm not a huge fan of them, to be honest with you. They're absolutely gorgeous spiders, but there's so many other things that I enjoy more. I enjoy the spiders that from where you're from way more, and you really can't do much in a communal way there. I'd love to actually honestly try an OBT communal off the side where it's not being filmed and just documented. And not, I mean, I'll film it, but not film it and put it out there for everybody just to see how it goes. I know Marilyn Moore kind of failed with hers, but It's kind of intriguing to find out because I've read stuff about how they're found so close to each other, and if they're found that close to each other in the wild, you'd think you'd be able to do that here in captivity too somehow, but maybe the enclosure size would have to be absolutely tremendously huge. Um, I I've done the Insay communal, and that didn't work out. The one that I would actually really like to try would be the Heterothele villicella. One of those, the Tanzanian chestnut. They're dwarf spiders. I had two together, a male and a female. I thought that they paired, and they both died within like days of each other. It's dwarf spiders. They don't live as long. You're not going to find a dwarf spider that lives more than 6 or 7 years at the most as a female. Those two I got together as slings, and the male matured in a molt, and then the next molt the female matured. So I just left them together, and they both died. No, I'm glad everybody can hear and see me okay. That's good. I got the mic right here just in case. I do have a new mic coming, a little stand mic for the podcast. Any of you guys listen to my podcast? I got some really good topics coming up. I think you guys will find interesting. Like we're going to do the common name versus binomial name, the pros and cons of both. Um, common spiders or common tarantulas in the hobby and why they are so. What else? I have like 7 or 8 topics already figured out. But yeah, you should check out the podcast because this is exactly what it would be, just me talking, and you don't have to watch video. You can listen to it, while you're working out or while you're doing dishes or cooking or vacuuming, whatever. I think podcasts are kind of cool. I'd like to do those a little bit more. Well, I think I'm way behind here. Oh, natural learning. Thanks for it was fun going up against you. I don't even remember, again, I don't remember what spider I used. Isn't that bad? I've done so many clips. I don't even remember what spider I used in that clip. What was it? I mean, I'm looking around. I can't even. Oh, it was the Brachypelma albiceps. That's what it was. Yeah, that was a double takedown, so it was like a real quick. The first one was a real clip, and then I edited it so when the second one came by, you got that dirt flying up. I think that's what made that video, to be honest with you. 15 T's, okay. So I am kind of caught up then, I guess. Yeah, the assassin bugs, I think I have 20 of them now. The little, the Platymerus bigitatus, the white-dotted assassin bugs from the last batch of eggs. So all I have left now is just the young ones. I think I have a young juvenile, and then the rest of them are mostly just small. So it'll be a while before I have babies again, but I'm going to try to have a nice communal, large setup where they're, a taller setup where they can climb. Put them all together. I think there's 11 now little babies in the one little small thing. I need to get them out of there. They should be ready to eat by now. Yeah, I do kind of think I am funny, Trey. So you could tell her I do believe that I'm funny. And I'm going to have to start charging for my comedy real soon. 80. That's not a bad number. I'd be comfortable with 80. But whatever happens here with pelt, because there's 3 of them going away, which will take me down to 124. I would imagine there'd be at least 6 coming back, so we'll be back up to 130. I'm not real comfortable with that number because it is a ton of work, but I have a hard time saying, okay, I can, I don't mind getting rid of this one or that one. It's kind of hard for me to figure out which ones I want to scale back from. Probably be a lot of South American species that'll probably be the ones that start getting scaled back on. Yeah, I do have podcast. It's on Anchor. It's also on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Look for Eerie Arachnid Says. That's the podcast I have. There's only, I think, 3 episodes right now. Tony, you can find it, like I said, on Spotify, on what do we, Samsung, whatever that is. I don't know what the podcast is through the Microsoft, but their podcasting, and then Apple Podcast. There's a whole list of them. If you go, I'm trying to figure out how I can do this for you. There's no really way I could show you. Yeah, you'd have to let me know what you would be looking for, or what app you'd be looking for. But it's on like I think 16 or 18 different apps. The podcasts are. It's Eerie Arachnid Says, Boy from LA. That's the name of the podcast. Oh, Jack's looking for bribes now. I don't think I'm gonna need bribes against Vic. I may need them later on, because I think right now Vic and I, whichever one of us wins, would have to go against Lucy, and I think she's the only, if I'm right, she's the only female left in the whole tournament. Yeah, it's definitely on Spotify, Tony. So you could check it out. Like I said, there's 3 episodes. I don't even remember what the 3 episodes were, but this last one was like basically you want to get into Tarantulas 101. You know, the basics for beginners, and you know how to maneuver Facebook groups, and you know how to find a mentor and stuff like that. I try to make it so that it's more geared towards newer people, or I don't say newer people, but less experienced keepers, so I could give them information another way. And even some of the experienced people that I know that have been doing this for a long time have enjoyed my podcast, so I take that as a compliment. Yeah, Ian, well, this is my view. I mean, to be honest with you, the way the voting was all week, um, Tom didn't really drop out because Tom lost. Um, I don't think that he was really up the whole entire week except for the last day. It was back and forth all day. Gar was up the whole week. I think it sucks that Gar. I understand why he did it, um, but when he decided to drop out, they asked Tom to take his place, and I mean Tom, and I wouldn't have done it either. I wouldn't have gone ahead because I think you would have caught more flack that way, and I don't think Tom really wanted to deal with that. So, um, I mean, me being in the bracket, if you look at it as a competitor, that's a win for me because that's 2 really good channels that I don't have to worry about anymore. But they're 2 guys, 2 friends that I I feel bad that they're out. Oh, beer and whiskey. I wished I could drink. I used to drink a little bit, but I can't anymore with the ulcerative colitis. I'll have a beer every now and then when we go out to dinner, but it's very rare. But I do have a couple bottles here, that'll help me go to sleep if I need to, or if I have a cold. Like I love blackberry brandy and Southern Comfort. Those are my 2 favorite things to have. And I have the hot Southern Comfort in here that I haven't even opened yet. So yeah, but I don't mind a nip of blackberry brandy every now and then. Yeah, that would have been a tough decision, Ian. But I don't think a lot of people knew in the beginning that he was going to back out anyway. Um, because again, time restraints, and he didn't realize how the tournament was going to go. He didn't realize he was going to keep doing clips, and neither did Darren. And I think Kat also was one that said that she was only going to do the first clip and would have backed out. But then, the competitor that she had to go against Tom Moran the first one. I think that if she would have won, she would have went to the next round and then maybe backed out. I don't know, but I would, in your situation, I think it was good because it helped. It would bring some extra exposure to you, especially the whole way it went down. But I mean, I knew from the beginning that was going to happen. Even before the tournament started, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, see you guys later. See you later, JP. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to be done here real soon because my leg's starting to get sore and my hip's starting to get sore, and I haven't eaten yet. I need to make myself some dinner. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and we'll do it again sometime soon. So I'm gonna, I'll give you guys a few minutes to say goodbye, and then I'm gonna be off. It's 6:25 now, so we'll say till 6:30, and then I'm gonna take off because I need to make something to eat. I have chicken in there. I want to throw some Cajun spices on and eat. It's funny how I can eat Cajun stuff, but I can't drink alcohol with this ulcerative colitis. Now, I'm glad. I'm glad, Zena. Like I said, I'll do this more often. And we've got, what, about 14 or 15, maybe 16 people tops when we were here. But I didn't really say I was going to do it. It's just a last minute thing. I said, what the heck, let's try it. I didn't even know how to set it up or anything. It just boom. But Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't even know how to end. Oh, I know how to end it now. I just have to hit the X, right? Yeah, yeah, I'm tired actually. I've worked again this weekend, and then we fire right back up tomorrow morning, and then all off next weekend. We'll go watch Eric run in his indoor cross country, or not cross country, but indoor track. Yeah, I want you guys all to have a great night. Especially on all you guys over there in the EU and UK and South Africa. There, it's late there, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. And um, well, you're gonna go play Xbox now. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna say goodnight, and we'll see you guys all soon. Don't forget you always email me or send me a private message on Facebook, whatever you want to do, or even a message through here. But we'll see everybody later, and we'll try and do this again maybe another week or so. We'll see how it goes. So see you guys later. Thanks for joining in.